Welcome everyone, Magnus speaking. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. I like to talk about nostalgic games and games that come back to life in remakes. Now, as you all know, Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out in August of 2025, and I wanted to talk about this topic today. We're diving deep into one of my all-time favorite games in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and dare I say it, the best Metal Gear Solid game ever made. I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid PeaceWalker. Now, I know that's a bold claim, especially when you've got heavyweights like Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 1, and even Metal Gear Solid 2 in the mix. But trust me, I've got 5 solid reasons why PeaceWalker isn't just a great game, it's the greatest game in the series. So let's get into it.
Boss, voice print analysis confirms that this voice is indeed that of the legendary hero, the boss.
First up, PeaceWalker does something that Metal Gear Solid 3 simply couldn't. It gives us a deeper look into how Naked Snake became Big Boss. Sure, MGS3 introduced us to his struggle, his heartbreak, and his realization of the truth behind the boss's sacrifice. But PeaceWalker takes it further. This game shows his ideological shift, his growing mistrust of governments, and how he starts laying the foundation for Outer Heaven. We see him struggle with his past and, more importantly, begin to embrace his role as a leader. This transition is crucial because without PeaceWalker, the leap from Metal Gear Solid 3's Naked Snake to the antagonist of the classic Metal Gear games wouldn't be nearly as impactful.
The whole world will know of PeaceWalker's versatility. They'll witness the birth of a deterrent that can deliver a nuke anywhere it needs to go.
Most MGS games feature bosses with unique personalities, often with tragic backstories, but PeaceWalker changes the formula. Instead of fighting over-the-top characters like the classic Psycho Mantis or the End, we're battling massive AI-controlled war machines, tanks, choppers, and of course, PeaceWalker itself. These fights are brutal. They require strategy, patience, and some serious creativity with your weapon loadouts. Unlike other Metal Gear games where you might rely on a simple pattern to take down a boss, PeaceWalker forces you to adapt and approach each battle differently. No two players will tackle them the same way, and that's what makes them unforgettable.
You know the name Big Boss, and maybe you were there at the ceremony when I received the title from President Johnson.
Why did you refuse to shake his hand?
Because I knew where my loyalty belonged.
Now, I love Metal Gear's signature long-winded cinematics, but even I have to admit that sometimes they can feel a bit much for other gamers. Not me though, I love them. On the flip side, MGS5 cut back so much on its cinematics that the story ended up feeling incomplete, let alone behind the scenes drama that was going on at the time with Konami and Hideo Kojima. But PeaceWalker, it nailed the perfect balance. You see, the game's story is told through beautifully animated comic-style cutscenes, mixed with in-game conversations and a ton of cassette tapes that expand the lore. This gives players the option to dive deep into the backstory without forcing them into hour-long cinematics. It keeps the story engaging without overwhelming you, making it one of the most well-paced Metal Gear games ever made.
The missing link between infantry and artillery. Metal Gear. Metal Gear.
Here's where PeaceWalker really stands out. It's the only Metal Gear game that lets you build your own Metal Gear. Let that sink in. You're not just fighting against one, you're literally constructing your own, piece by piece, with the option to send it out on missions. And then, in one of the game's most epic twists, you actually have to fight your own creation later on. This is something even the Phantom Pain didn't do, and it makes PeaceWalker feel incredibly unique in the series. And even though MGS4 had the Metal Gear fight, where you controlled Rex against Ray, it was only one scene, and it wasn't as involved as creating your own Metal Gear.
What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your mission or your beliefs?
Finally, let's talk missions. Since PeaceWalker was originally a PSP game, its mission structure had to be tight, quick, and efficient. But instead of that being a limitation, it actually worked in the game's favor. Main missions always serve the story, and side ops never feel like they should have been main missions. Looking at you, Phantom Pain, the game keeps you invested, and the refined gameplay makes you want to keep coming back for more. And as a bonus, let's not forget the Easter eggs that this game has. You've got the Monster Hunter crossover, the Assassin's Creed haystack dive. There's so much extra content packed into this game that even years later, I still come back to play it, and that's saying something. So there you have it. 5 reasons why Metal Gear Solid PeaceWalker isn't just my favorite, but the best Metal Gear Solid game ever made. Yeah, that's right, I said it again. The story, the gameplay, the boss fights, and the sheer amount of content. This game has it all. If you've never played it, I highly recommend giving it a shot, whether on the PSP, PS3, or Xbox 360, or with the latest Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. Actually, is it in there? I don't think it is. Darn, it's not in there, but it should be. But hey, I want to hear from you. Do you agree with my list, or do you think another MGS game deserves the top spot? Drop a comment below and let's talk Metal Gear. And also, another thing I wanted to mention, check out this channel because her Metal Gear videos about exploring the whole story has been incredible. She just finished PeaceWalker and is about to start Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes for the first time. But no spoilers. Anyway, that's my video. Thank you for watching. And if you made it this far, like I said in the beginning, consider subscribing because you'd make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you later. Metal Gear. It can't be.